Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour. Host Kelly Brickel is a psychic medium, numerologist, healer, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there is always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here's your host of the Psychic Hour, Kelly Brickel.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Psychic Hour. I'm Kelly Brickel, and today we are doing a relaunch of the Psychic Hour. I've been learning so much, and I'm so excited that I can continue to provide the interviews, the readings, and even going forward with my other podcast, the Numerology Hour. We're making it so everything comes together full circle, and it's going to be seamless. So for everybody who has enjoyed this podcast and this live show in the past, it's been a part of WLTKDB radio, and that radio station did close. The creator, Todd Bates, is wonderful. I mean, he's just so talented. I know he's going to be doing future things. It's just the way the timeline went. So, in order to share my passion and my heart and keep things going, I worked my tushy off to make sure that I learned as much as I could, so that we didn't miss a beat and we continued to show up on Wednesday to do the live show. So I've been learning so much, getting everything with the streams and broadcasting and a relaunch of banners. In a new intro package, that intro package was all new. So, just I'm sharing my love of the work because there's so many things and that's what I want the topic of the day to be, because we always talk about the topic of the day, and it's just like passion and heart is really the topic of the day. There's so many people who come into the world as psychics and mediums, numerologists, healers, teachers, and there's an entire journey to make sure that we put our gifts out there, put our hearts out there in a way where we are accessible, where we can help, where we are seen, where we are heard. And sometimes that is not needed at certain times in our life, as long as people can find us. And at other times, depending on our mission, there is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into making sure that our hearts can walk our path in such a way where we are seen and heard, and we are found. So with that said, hello, everybody coming on in. Desiree, hello. This is the launch of the first show where it's all solo. Okay, so let's get into a little bit more about heart and passion, and then we're going to take some readings on in the end. It's a format of love, and this is the first time, like I said, we're not attached to WLTKDB, so bear with us, everybody, as we continue to link up and continue to get our audience back online. With that said, let's talk a little bit about energy. So within energy, it's all about intention. And our intention is scattered through our past, present, and future. Okay, that's very, very real. That's very, very true. When someone is reading your energy, they can understand where you are at with your hopes, your dreams, your desires, things that are absolutely already coming to you based on what your intention is and was. Think about it. A psychic knows about you loving something or like having a good fit within a job because they go, oh, your energy is kind of like this. Yes, but it's also, since maybe when you were a kid, you have been dreaming up how to, let's say, be a teacher or dreaming up to be an athlete or a writer. That's parts of you that glimmer and float and are present, because whether or not it's actualized, it's in your dream state or it's in a part of you that is your potential. And we always can enact our potential. Of course, it has to be in the present, but we always can enact our potentials in the future. Like, okay, I need to bridge this part of myself, so I create that now. I understand that this is a part of me that exists in the future, even though I can never access that part until I link up the present. And that's why the present is so powerful. That's why the present is where everything exists. Everything's overlapped, I feel, but it's all in the present, because you have to link up how you identify with the past and how you identify with the future. And we have to heal our pasts. A lot of us, I mean, all of us, have to heal our pasts. And maybe there's times within your life where you have healed. Like, you consider yourself a different person. And when you look back on yourself from 10 years ago, however the time, you go, I see myself differently now, or I see the situation differently now. I see other people differently now because I understand that um, there were different conditions where people didn't know better, or I understand myself better now where I have compassion. And the only able to have that healing is if you took the past where you revisited where your current energy last was, because we process and we operate where our energy last was within the body. If you have, it's true, like with memory, if the last memory you have and you didn't update it, the last memory you had was from 1984 or 2001, your body, if it didn't make a new association to the traumatic event or whatever happened to you, it still processes the same trauma like it did. Its association is not expanded. It's, I had an event happen to me. And if I don't then feel like I went past that event, other than experiencing that event, because it shocked me, it shook me, the body still lives in the trauma every time you revisit it, like you were there. So we have to update our pasts. We have to update our consciousness and go, I'm ready to heal in the present. Now, when I revisit the past, what am I able to bridge over to the present? And it's not like, you snap your fingers and I'm better, right? It's not like all of a sudden, great, I did a meditation and I'm back, baby. It's about sometimes putting awareness on it, and other times um, understanding that you're in a new place and you get to choose how you associate to it. Okay. So, wherever your heart is, wherever your passion is, if you find that you can't access it because maybe your heart and your passion was most brightly lived in your past, or your heart and your passion was most, you know, clear to you, if only you could get to tomorrow or next year, then it's time to bridge and access the present. And so that's what, the passion and heart and inspiration of me been talking is like when I was younger, I really loved talk radio. I really loved spirituality. And a lot of the content I would consume, besides reading, would be I would listen to Hay House Radio, and I would listen to people talking, and I would just be really, really happy knowing that that content was floating, and I wanted to create, my own content, and I wanted to um, do radio with just reaching other people one day. And it goes beyond that, but I made sure with the opportunities that I've been given to make this happen in the present as well as continue in the future. What inspired me in the past, I am very impassioned to keep going. So, whatever your dream is, whatever your heart is, make sure that there is the awareness of how am I bridging my energy? Where is my intention going with my consciousness rather than just swirling around in me where it's observable, but I don't quite know it myself. So, with that said, everyone, let's get into readings. Please pop down your numbers, pop down your questions. Um, I'm going to be pulling some cards. I'm going to be feeling and looking into things and also doing your birth dates. So if you're looking to have a reading, pop down your questions in the comments. And that's all you have to do. For everybody new coming in, you just say, I want a reading. And that's how I know that it's okay. And I have your consent. And once you just put down your information, then you get a mini reading. And that's what the reading show's about. So the Psychic Hour is an interview show, but it's also a reading show once a week too, as well. Um, we come on 2 times a week, and it's one of each. So I know everybody, I see there's a lot of people in here that I do see. So pop down if you want you to be read, pop down for readings. Okay. I know we have new people coming in because we're doing a new format. So if you want a psychic or numerology reading, or if you want a card pull, you have to say, hey, I want a reading. And that's how it goes, everybody. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pull some cards for you, Desiree. Awesome. And then if you want something more specific looked at, hi, Micah. Hey. Hey. Haha, hey Micah. Oh, I love it. Yes, you were asking me a question about being a life path 22 before. And I'm getting around to everyone's comments. Everyone has been sending some lovely comments on my page where I'm broadcasting from, and I'm going to have time more this week to get back to all of you. So thank you for your patience too as well. Shout out to you, Micah. I remember you. So Desiree. Yes, if you want something specific, Desiree, just pop it down. And then I'm going to get to you, Micah, too, as well. All right. Okay. All right. So I use my own cards, everybody. And so I do have fancy decks. I do have nice decks. We all have our fancy decks, right? With our favorite authors and things like that. But I use my own. So they don't always look fancy, but they let me know where I want to go. So sometimes I don't always put them on screen. But if you want to see them, let me know too as well. Okay. Oh, it's Mika. Mika. Okay. Yes. Tell me, Mika. Thank you, Mika. All right. All right. Thank you, Desiree. Thank you for your question. Okay. So, what I'm getting from the cards is number one, I got the physical energy card, and it's in the center. And it was letting me know that there needs more care in this department. There's been a lot of movement, a lot of things up in the air. Just be careful not to burn yourself out. I know you're always learning that, but I'm just aware that sometimes when you feel better than ever, you'll add on more because you're like, okay, I'm doing extra things. So then, yeah, I'll say yes more, or you don't even mean to. So I'm just aware of, even though the self care is going up, I feel out of whack. There's a little bit too much going on. So slow down, add more self care, and really be just more protective of schedule. Even though that might already be happening, I'm aware it still needs to be fine tuned. Okay. So let me know if things are a little upside down. And sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves. Like sometimes you were like, I'm doing great. And you are, but you're like, if I just were to step back, I would go, whoa. If I saw my friend doing this, I would tell them to slow down. Okay. And because of that, so I'm looking at another card, and this is the goes with it, the feeling strong card. All right, but it's in a placement that's letting me know that from the lack of energy that you have, because there's too much going on, it's not only affecting vitality, it's actually messing with the confidence department. So it's like there's a lot of projects that you want to build and go forward with, but since there's the zapped energy, it's not allowing you to step into your energy and to embrace like the full power of like the new things that you're taking on with as much integration. And the best way I can describe that is, I'm learning new skills. I'm always, growing with myself as a person, but if I don't get adequate sleep, my recall is not there. It's just not there. And I feel like a little bit off kilter. And then even though I have all of it in my head and all of it in my heart, it's like I can't just turn on. I just can't be lights, camera, action because my energy is scattered, even though I might be more knowledgeable than another person who is ready to go. So that's why I want to offer you. It's like you actually are a powerhouse, but the depletion is rocking the way that you use energy and it's rocking the way that you're a powerhouse. And we got to kind of just get things a little bit calmer so you can go, yes, this is what I work towards. Yes, I feel it and I'm in the next phase. We got you we got your mind in the next phase. We need your body and like some of your energy in the next phase. So, this is oh cool. All right. Nice. Nice. I'm giving you kudos on wanting to launch the podcast and everything. So, uh, hats off to you, Desiree. You're going to be able to do it. Um, the next card was the opening light. This is a really good auspicious card. And it's kind of like what we're talking about. So, like, first, we're kind of addressing what's going on now and kind of how some past things are related to now. And then the cards I got going forward were the opening light. And that's perfect with what you're saying. It's all about trusting yourself and paying attention to your spirit in a way where you come online and you're seen and you are again confident, but first it comes from the alignment of within. You have to say hello to yourself before you say hello to others. You have to see yourself before others see you. And then that's how everything kind of just goes. This feels good. This isn't rushed. This isn't, when am I going to get this done? Oh my god, oh my god. It's like, I'm ready. I'm just ready. Okay, so it's good energy for helping you to calm down and be ready. And then it's just a matter of, okay, with the whole lights, camera, action YouTube, it's letting me know. So you got the love card. Okay. But it's letting me know that this is not a perfection project. Okay. This is not a perfection project. This is a self-love project and a surrendering project. And all about surrendering to spirit. And this, with YouTube and putting out your business more and everything, it's going to be a true surrender and you're going to course correct and heal. And, you're going to pick up people who see themselves in you that are healing and wanting to expand too. I know when I'm not trying to talk about myself, but I know when I first started, I didn't feel like I was, an ace. I felt like I just better get myself out there. Okay. And there was a lot of things that I am continuing to change. Okay. So it's always a labor of love. And so it's just letting you know that I feel like you're going to stop or overthink putting yourself out there because you feel like this needs to be better, or I need to do more with this, or I need to tweak that. And it's just like, no, you have to just put yourself out there. You have to, and you have to love yourself through the things that aren't up to par. Okay. And that's how you're going to open up your lights. And that's how you're just going to go forward. Okay. And a lot of things, like the number one thing is there's a lot of change. We haven't addressed the house right yet, but there's a lot of change coming. And it's going to make you feel uncomfortable, but it's a lot of good change. I promise you. It's like so let me look at what I wanted to look at with the house and everything. You gave me your numbers. You gave me your numbers. Okay. All right. So you are an attitude 2 and you are a life path 2 as well. Okay. And then you're in a cycle of you're in a cycle of 9. Oh, this is really good. Okay. So this is another reminder. You're in a cycle of 9, okay? When a cycle of 9 happens, it's all about wrapping things up. Um but it also feels like new beginnings, especially the more intuitive you are. 9 is all about like transformation and growth. And it's like at a pinnacle to let the new stuff come in, but it's like kind of recycling things around and tending to the areas that haven't been able to be tended to in a long time. So it's kind of like you will have this surge of I know what I need to do and I'm finally able to see it for what it is and feeling like you're stepping into your new self. The only thing about the 9 is heads up. Um, the year goes so fast. Nines go so fast, and family issues will pop up. Friends will pop up where people will need your attention to help wrap up your year's energy. So 9 is meant to be an ending for a reason. So what happens is you're ready for next year for the new you to sprout, and you actually are planting the seeds. It's just a lot of it is not going to be able to sprout until next year. So I want you to keep planning, but I want you to go easy on yourself if things are just so busy around you and just go, this is just where the energy is right now. This still means that I do make time for myself. I'm just aware of how the energy is going a little bit right now. Next year, great year for getting all these projects off the ground. Heck, you could even start to do it this year. It's going to build next year rather than build this year. You can put the foundations in if you want. I'm just letting you know, if you get pulled away, it's not because you're not focused. It's because you have to wrap up your former self and also what's going on with friends and family first. Okay. So I'm just highlighting that to you. When you get into next year, 2024, that is a year of new beginnings. And it's like when your motivation and your self identity gets like reignited. It's like a phoenix, and you will have time for all these things. It will push your buttons, it will trigger you, it will mess with your comfortability. It's all about motivation that year. Like, how can we keep on the path? And it really does shape you. So it still can be agonizing. It's not just a fresh baby coming to the world where I have a blank slate, all options. So know that you still have to trust yourself, but life will go, oh, yeah, we'll open up this opportunity for you. We'll open up that opportunity for you. So life makes things happen easy as long as you do the hard work as you're going forward. Within the house, I do feel like, can you understand the I'm just gonna say a little bit on the house because I'm more so in your energy, like within your career and confidence and healing and health and new energy with the way that you go about things and the choices you make. But I feel like with the house, can you understand that there's already been like boxes packed? And let me know if you're still around. Let me scroll back. Desiree, can you understand that there's been boxes, like you're already starting to pack boxes and to move things around in preparation because you feel like this isn't it? It doesn't have to be the whole family, but I feel like it's the decision has been made. Since you've asked me like, "Oh, new house in the future," like I feel like the decision has been made. Like you are committed. You're like, it's not a question, new house in the future. It's like, I don't want to be here. So you understand that, okay? And I feel like you've already started the process. I don't know to what extent. Okay, good. Good. Thank you. Thank you. So I want you to lean into that. Like, um, I don't know, again, like I said, to what extent you are doing the boxes, but lean into the packing, lean into like it's time because it does feel like you know it's time and you've convinced husband that it's time. And so you're actually leading the move energetically, if you can understand that as well. And you have husband on board. So now he's leading energetically and it's starting to build. Um, I do feel like this is going to be hashed out sooner than later. It goes in steps. I hope that makes sense. It's like this year, I do feel like with house, you're going to start to look at places and get the ball moving. And that's kind of like where I'm at because I feel like there's a couple like money things. It's like, what more can we have? Because it's about growing, right? And sometimes you have to go, this is the goal. What more can we have? What more can we have? Um, what more can we have? So I feel like we have. Can you believe we're almost in October? We have 2 months basically left in the year. Okay. I feel like it starts getting really real, like in December, where we're starting to look at places, and we're going to be starting to contact the realtor going forward. So next year definitely hits this off and running, but it becomes alive this year, and you actually physically, and you're that's where I'm at. You're physically starting it. It's no longer a maybe. The conversation is going to build. You are leading the energy, and your husband's going to be on board actually this year, doing the work with you and creating the plans and getting the money in order to you for you guys to have actually what you want. Okay. So I feel like it's thumbs up. I feel like it's thumbs up. It's just that's where we're headed. We need to keep heading there for the house to actually drop. And the house could actually drop sooner the more we're on board. That's what I'm getting. But there is a house right waiting for you. That's definitely you have a couple options really. It's just about the timeline. Because sometimes timelines are like it's happening right at this time. Then there's sometimes it's like we have options. Okay. So that's what I'm feeling. You're saying, yep, that's where we currently need to decide where we want to move, either stay in Colorado or another state. Okay, well, that's the next decision. I don't feel like that decision is quite fleshed out yet. Like sometimes when people pop down their stuff, I can feel like they want something, right? And it's like it's really opening up that energy. And right now, that conversation is fresh. It's fresh. I think you should look at some places locally, honestly, around December or November if you want. Heck, I think you should look at some places locally and kind of see how you feel on things. Right now, I'm feeling kind of Colorado vibes. I think you're going to be traveling more, but right now it's a little bit Colorado vibes, but we could open that up. Okay. So the energy, I'm not going any which way for energy other than knowing I know you're going to travel more. Okay. And look around Colorado. Okay. But it's coming. That I know it's coming and I'm aware of the energy around it. So keep going because it's opening up and it's good. It feels good. Hopefully that helped. All right. So, all right. Mika. Mika. All right. Mika. All right. Oh, thank you, Mika. I'm looking up with your comments from earlier. Thank you. Having my own cards is fun. Anyone can make their own cards. I talk about it a lot. You know, anyone has everyone has their own symbology. You know, think about it with the way spirit contacts us, our loved ones, they know our unique experiences. We have our own lucky numbers, right? That like will pop up and show up and have our own messages. We all have our own symbology. So if you really love oracle cards and if you want to make your own, just start making a deck of them and play around with what you can read with. Just play around with it for anyone who wants it. Okay, so Mika, what is your question? Or I can do a general. Let me see. Let me see. You talked about your 22-4. Oh no. You said I'm a 22-4 and it sucks. Way too much to deal. Any ideas? Okay, so a 22-4 is actually a really good thing, Mika. It's a really, really good thing. It Anytime we have a master number vibration, it makes us feel added responsibility. It always makes us feel we should be doing something more. When you have a four like you do, it will make you tend to be a little bit more self critical than the average bear because four is the number of knowledge. It wants to get things done efficiently, it wants to get things done with a plan. If things don't go according to plan, it's very frustrating. I would have to see your other numbers, but sometimes when people have numbers that go with their four, it helps to make them have a more consistent quality to their work. If you have numbers not in harmony with your four, it will make you feel all over the place where you're like, well, I had the plan and then it changed, and, or I don't want to do something that I thought I did want to do. And so you feel like sand or time is running through your fingertips with the things that you want to do. And so it can be very frustrating if you can understand that. But if you're comfortable popping down your month and your day, Mika, that will kind of help me get into your chart a little bit more. And then general, okay, I can do cards for you too. It's whatever you like. Hashtag overachiever. Ha ha ha. Yes. So it's great because with overachieving, especially if you want to do things for other people, like giving them a smile or inspiration within your work, as I know you do, you provide people more experiences to feel, to understand the human experience, to smile. And the fact that you're providing content and energy, you are helping to change the world around you. And that's what it means to be like a master vibration. Like I put myself out there within my mission or within my passions so much that I'm able to stir up change in other people. Now, it's up to you because we live in a digital world, but one of the missions of the 22-4 is to have some type of brick and mortar company business. Again, it doesn't have to be brick and mortar physical, but to have some type of business or multiple businesses where people can come and feel like they can be a part of something. The four is the teacher, the four is the student. Okay. So it's you create the brick and mortar so you are the perpetual student and help others to be students of whatever you find beautiful in the world with your talent, with what you can give others. Or you step up into the teacher role and you say, hey, look how you can do this, look how you can be this. And it could be in the arts, right? All right, let's see. Because I feel like you have a lot of enthusiasm with showing people what is beautiful and wonderful and inspiring. I think there's something to that, so I'm just giving that to you. 10-4, thank you. Just so attitude. That explains it right there. That explains it right there. You're an attitude 4 with a life path. Attitude 5 with a life path 4. Those are contradictions of each other. Okay. And then you have a personal day 4. Okay. So you're a 5-4-4. Mika, you're in a cycle of 3. Oh, that's good. And then you're in a month of, we're in a 9. So you're in a 3 as so okay. So, Mika, this is potentially, we're at the end of the month. We're at the end of the month. So I know this. But this month was actually opportunity wise very good. It was socially getting ideas in your head, networking with future projects. I feel like there was stirring up and talk of that this month. Next month, you're going to be in a 4. You're in a 4. Yep. And so it's about kind of solidifying things on a deeper level. And I do feel like some of that wonkiness of you're like, where am I at this year? Where am I at this month? Gets a little bit tempered, but it's just a matter of where do you really want to dig your heels into? Because the conflict that you're kind of describing to me, is very indicative with you being an attitude 5 and a life path 4. The attitude 5 means I want to try different things. My mind is scattered sometimes. I get bored easily. I need variety. I need you know, I need to not feel buckled down. And it's great because if you can kind of create things and give some of the responsibilities to other people that have similar passions as you, or put yourself more in a group where you can be the ideas person, or fill in the little blanks where someone goes, I need help, I don't know how to do this, and you're like, I can figure that out, I can figure that out. It will keep you busy, it will keep you stimulated. I just think, like, if you do things solo with some of the projects, you will get distracted a little bit too often, or it will be a rushed product because you're kind of like on to the next. Okay. I think groups are very, you got to align yourself with the right people, but groups of aligned vision are very good for you because you will actually, your monkey brain will actually help problem solve what other people are going through within the group. And then you can be active, fulfilled, and not bored. Um, and then maybe you can switch groups. But I think it's really, really important that you're not just kind of going, what next, just by yourself. I'm going to keep reiterating that. Let me look at the comments. You said, thank you. Additionally, I had a neighbor pass last year. He suffered greatly. I felt like he was a battery, okay, collecting energies in the house. I feel like his beings gravitate to my place. I was wondering if you sense these beings have moved on or not. Okay. Well, so when things are of human nature, like someone passing, I do feel like there's no contest that energies wouldn't stay around. That's a whole philosophy discussion, but I don't feel like people stay around. I feel like their energy stays around, and they can come and visit and come and go whenever they please. I don't think I this our spirit is so much bigger than our one identity, our one lifetime. Okay, this is just one part of who we are. Like, my spirit is bigger than Kelly. I've had many lifetimes other than Kelly. So when Kelly passes, I'm not bound to this earth as Kelly, and I can't leave until I understand that I have to go to the other side. That understanding is always within me. So I don't think that's in conflict. I do think the energy of Kelly can be accessed by my loved ones and people who know me, and I can come down and visit in the form of Kelly, even though my spirit is much bigger than just me. So there's that. Now, then there's also like spirit who isn't human, who aren't, going through the same process of us. And there's elementals, spirits tied to the land. And sometimes there's just emotional energy in houses where people have put themselves in very stressful environments, had dark childhoods, had dark families, had a lot of trauma, and they never really got over it. And they perpetuated that trauma, and they attracted a lot of not great energy to them. So there's a lot of variables in place when we're talking about if someone attracts negative energy, or if they're able to let that go, or if negative energy finds us, if we're, friends, or we're in proximity to these beings or people. There's a lot of different variables at play. I just want to put out before I kind of go into it. I feel like Mika, you are an energy sensitive, like you're a channeler. You're a channeler of ideas and information, and I feel like you have such a connection to the visual realm, and the musical realm too, but the visual realm, and you can just see things popping up, and you can feel things popping up, and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. And you're aware of what's around you in your space. Like, you're aware with your neighbor being so close, what energy has been so close. And so um I feel like, since you are so open, that you are constantly not only fascinated, but try to also protective of the light and dark sides of life. And it's just a matter of keeping your energy balanced and closing your energy off if you do feel like there are negative energies kind of creeping in your way. I don't think your neighbor had the easiest life. So there's a lot of energy residue left over in his house. And I feel like your consciousness can go to places very, very easily, even though it's also very easy to separate yourself from the energy. So I want to let you know that as well. Um, I also feel like, you've been in periods this year where you feel very inspired and very depleted. Okay. So energy has very been up and down. Sleep has been very up and down, if you can understand that too, Mika. So it's your energy is going in a bunch of different places and pulling up a bunch of different things. And on one hand, it's great from an artistic sense. And on the other hand, it's a little bit exhausting from a personal balance sense. And we all, energy sensitives all go through this. So my number one thing is it's okay. Things are okay. Things are okay. You're thinking about these energies and you're building them up, but you can sever these energies too as well. So um, take care of yourself, balance your energy, invite angels or their guides in. They will neutralize the energy, they will take care of it. I don't see it as a compounding problem. Just take care of yourself as well. Okay. Yeah. When things are very, very stressful, it breaks us down. And the stress can complicate what we're picking up and can make it darker. It can. So I think you got this. It's just self-care has to be higher, and then ask your team to protect you and they will neutralize it. They will neutralize it. I don't feel like this is any spirits following you around. It's your awareness of spirit because you are a medium. It's your awareness of spirit that you're picking things up rather than them following you around. That's the predominant issue at hand. And your awareness is a little bit burdened and heavy because it has been a very up and down year. Okay. So that's what I'm tuning into the most. Absolutely. Yes, call him in. Exactly. And just message me, Mika, if that is going effectively for you. Because I care. So and I can send you know, some exercises your way with helping to neutralize that too. I'm giving you a shout out. Okay. So lots of hug and good vibes to you, Mika. All right. Zoe, let's see. Zoe, if you're still here, let me know. I'm going to do a reading for you too as well. And Angela, hello, Angela. It's great to see you. All right. So let's see. Zoe and Angela, if you're still in here, I think I'm gonna take Angela first, and then I'm gonna take Zoe. Okay. Yeah, Angela, this year has gone by in a heartbeat. Like I feel like January was yesterday, honestly. And then some of the other months, even though I lived them, it's like my brain can't keep up this year. It just can't. It can barely keep up this week. All right. So, Angela, think you want a general. I'm just double checking. Okay, cool. And then Rochelle, I will get to you next too as well. So I'm going to pull Angela. All right. We're going to do a general. All right. I love it when the cards jump. I've seen it with many different readers. If the cards jump or fall out, those are your cards. Those are your cards. Okay. Oh, I just clicked something. That's fun. All right. So, Angela, if you're still here, cool. All right. I'm glad you're doing much better today. Um, Number one things that are coming up. So I got the time for a new hobby card. I don't know if you've gotten this card before in the past, but that's basically anytime I get time for a new hobby card, it's all about we have to expand who we are. We have to change up the energy. We have to get fresh energy in because the same old sometimes can bog us down. And if we want more, we have to create more. And sometimes we open up new energy by doing things that aren't linear in our plans or hopes or wishes. Sometimes, you know, sometimes going out for coffee once a month if we find ourselves too isolated, or, doing a free meetup. There's all these meetups where, you can talk about spirituality, like book clubs, just whatever grabs your interest really. Just putting yourself and plucking yourself in a new environment, even though you're not like, it's not like this is in the goal to make money. This isn't in the goal to find the relationship. That doesn't have to be where you're fixating on. You just have to, shake up energy in different areas, and your perspectives start to change, where because spirit is giving us signs all over of like, hey, do this, hey, do that, talk to this person, go do this, pick up the phone at this time. And when we are in our same old energy, especially when it's like womp, 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 we miss those signs. We miss those signs all the time. I'm always missing signs. I'm always learning how to, you know, be more in alignment, be a better listener, a better doer, right? And the energy has to change in order to do that. Because if we're always listening the same way and doing the same way, oh my goodness, spirit's already telling us it's not working, and we already know it's not working. So the number one card and the number one placement was like, go out and do something different. It will help so much. Don't overthink it. You need to do something different with your energy. Now, it's also coming forth that you have to be aware that not everything happens just like that. It can, don't get me wrong, but there's a time game card, but it's in a placement where this is like a positive thing. It's basically saying that you are taking responsibility to help go forward. You said, yes, you understand the hobby and you've gotten that card. Yeah, that card really likes you. So there's a lot of different cards to choose from, but that card really likes you, Angela. So there's no coincidence. The time game is coming up to saying that, like, you are aware that you're changing, and you do see a certain progression of things, and kind of all in good time. You have that mentality. It's not like you're really rushing yourself. You just want things to change, and it's letting you know that, like, things are coming on time. As long as you make the changes, things will actually support you and open up and move forward. This is a very good thing, because sometimes when people get this card, it's like you have to wait. Now, if the time is in your favor, that means everything is steady. Just open it up and continue to go forward. And you feel like you know this. So you're supported, where the time is now, and also the time will be now when you are ready. Okay. So don't rush yourself. In the past, I feel like that is kind of something that did complicate things, like feeling overwhelmed and or taking on too much, and then it was just too much, and then you would kind of isolate and go away, and then you couldn't really be motivated, and you couldn't really give things the proper focus because it was just too much, right? Or a situation that you knew that was not good for you or meant for you, you would find yourself in, and then you had to isolate, and it didn't make you excited about life, and you had to have time to course correct. Okay, so in the past, there's acknowledging to just being overwhelmed and not making choices like in your greatest self, and not letting people know that things weren't right for you, and not letting yourself speak up with what was needed for you. Okay, so right now, since you've learned those lessons, I'm acknowledging these lessons have been learned, and these lessons will be continued to be integrated. It's just about now one foot in front of the other. Divine timing is in your favor because you've learned these lessons. You'll continue to learn them, don't get me wrong, but you've learned them. Okay. And so you're saying it definitely felt overwhelmed in the past, as it would completely shut you down. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, good. So it's the integration of you getting out there. It's going to be smoother because we're not going to have the same shutdowns. And as we open up our energy and get you more flexible to the change, again, we're not going to have as many shutdowns. You're going to be more resilient. You're going to be more flexible. And the new hobby is going to give you that additional resilience and flexibility and interest, kind of curiosity. Curiosity is healthy. Curiosity is healthy because even when something's not like boom, you should do this. If we're a little bit curious, spirit goes, yeah, you normally wouldn't like this, but you're going to like it. Get you curious. You normally wouldn't go for this, or maybe it doesn't look that sparkly, but aren't you a little bit curious? Curiosity is really, really good with opening and working with energy and being lucky. Okay. So ignite that curiosity, and I'm gonna keep probably pulling that hobby card for you. All right. Okay. So thank you, Angela. Let's go to it was Zoe was next, but there was another Z, and then Rochelle. Okay, so Zoe, if you're still in there, no, Zoe, you're next. You're next, and then it's Rochelle. Zoe. All right. Do you want a general or um, do you want something more specific? You let me know. Popping down your numbers always helps too. So if you want to pop down your birthday, thank you, Angela. Thank you for understanding. You're in a cycle of one, are you? New beginnings. Yeah, new beginnings. It's always a very, Angela, it's always a very good, auspicious time because you've just completed a 9-year cycle. But it tests your comfortability and your identity. It's saying, yeah, I know I want to do new things, but okay, it feels uncomfortable to do things. But the one makes you more curious, luckily. And the one, when you actually do it, it opens up ginormous amount of energies. One is a fire vibration. So it actually builds momentum very, very quickly. And life opens up in a way where kind of if you can understand this too, Angela, the distractions of last year, they're not as big. You have actually this year to focus on yourself, and you understand this. Yes, life still happens, but this year you've actually been able to focus on yourself. So take this energy and use it to your advantage, and really trust that if you take 3 steps forward or even 1 step forward, you know, like spirit is going to lift you up and take you 10 paces. That's what a cycle 1 is about. It's like you put in the energy for you. This is what this year's all about. Other years, you're going to be focused on maybe other things. This year's for you. Okay. To blow out the former things that you did and make space for the new. Okay. Okay, general. All right. Thank you, Zoe. And then you put down your birth date. Thank you so much. Okay. So we got you're an attitude 4, you are a personal day 2, and you are, okay, see your life path 8. You are a life path 3. Let me just double check the math. That's correct. Zoe, you're in a cycle of 2. Okay. So it lets me know that this year has been really you getting in touch with your emotions and you understanding yourself on a much deeper level. Like 2s are always about like you're going to be feeling way harder than normal. You're going to be feeling way more intensely. You can't walk away from it. You're going to be a little certain months like sadness or the anger is going to kick up in a way where you're just like I'm feeling it this year. And so what that's always made for is to help you process things that you've been too busy to process, right? Like there's things that happen to you and me where it's like that really pissed me off, but I got to get to work, right? That really pissed me off. I got to drive my parents somewhere or my friends somewhere. And it's just like I'm aware of it, but onward. This year it's like it builds up in a way where even if you have stuff going on, you can't ignore it. You can't ignore it. So journaling is super important this year. Um, Therapy, if you can get into therapy or have like a healer on your side or someone who can spiritually guide you to help you process or help release some of the intensity. So you have to process it. You have to get out of your system. Whether it's talking about it or writing about it, it has to flow out in a way from you because all this energy is being kicked up. where it needs something new to happen. It's like, I need you to pay attention to me. We need to do things differently. Okay. I need you to not overlook this one. And so if it gets down even on a piece of paper, you can't it's in physical reality outside of your body, and you go, I wrote this. Dang, I wrote this. And huh, yeah, that's how I feel about that. Yeah, it's that bad. It's that bad. And that's good for you to have boundaries within things in your life where you go, never again, not like that, no thank you. Boundaries with relationships, boundaries with friends and family, boundaries with what you're choosing. So like, I'm aware that this year, as I'm saying this, that like in your job right now, it's not, it's one that like you're fine with, it's one that you picked, but you're like, I'd rather do something different. And you're kind of just like kind of putting up with things at work sometimes, and you're ready for something different. And it's also like telling people that you're like, no, I'd prefer not to do that. I prefer not to do that. And so, yeah, you just put down, yes, I've been setting more boundaries recently with friends. And, but I'm also seeing that with like siblings, if you can understand that. These are like peers closer to you. Also, that needs to be happening with people older than you, but it's also enacting that with peers. So whether it's cousins or friends, I'm aware of there's family and friends where you're just like, actually, I don't want to do that. Yeah, actually, like, I actually don't like that. That is coming more up into effect. And also, I just think boundaries for relationships, I'm really seeing that boundaries for relationships, having a new list of what you feel like the right guy looks like for you. Okay. Um, this is an invitation to really be in touch with yourself on a level where it's not just inside of you and you go, I'm aware of who I am on a deeper level now. This is like an announcement of, yeah, um, this part of Zoe is now in effect. Yeah, this part of my spirituality is not just inside of me, it's like it's all over me, and this is who I am as a being now. Okay? So it's like that part's getting kicked up, and I like that part because that part is not hidden. It's like you're not a hidden spiritual warrior. You're like a spiritual, I'll say it like badass, just saying, this is what's better for me, and this is what's better for you. And that's the way it is. That's the kind of energy, okay? Because I feel like you're a very matter of fact. It's just sometimes you kind of like, maybe I don't have to say it. But right now we're kicking up, yeah, maybe I do have to say it. Um, I think that really you could get your no BS truth telling kind of personality side to you, like kicked up in different areas of your life, that is going to help explode your career. Um, you say, I work in retail currently, but my dream has always been work with animals. Okay, animals need advocates. Animals love, individuals that are true within their hearts. And a lot of times people, they're not looking out for animals. Just anything in the healthcare field, like you need people who are willing to go to bat for others. People and animals. You need someone willing to go to bat, draw boundaries, be like, nope, this is the better way. Nope, I'm not going to stand up with it. And I feel like lean into that energy and you will be an advocate of others and animals. Um, you talked about, I'm a people pleaser, so I've always struggled with setting boundaries. I don't like upsetting people or causing conflict. I understand that, but can you also validate that when you feel like you have when you feel like someone likes you, you're not afraid to kind of say like some whoa things. So it is actually in you to kind of make people go like, whoa, you said that. Whoa, you thought that. Whoa, you're calling that person out. But it's been kind of confined. Okay. Do you understand that, Zoe? If you can validate that? Because I'm saying break the mold. I'm saying break the mold, and you're in the process of that. And you need more boundaries and more confidence in what you say is actually, it makes people understand more about themselves, and everyone really has to kind of wake up and be in a place where they go, yeah, actually that's right, that actually is true. Okay. Thank you for understanding that. Yes. So, look, it's inside you to shake things up. And you admit you've been a people pleaser, and are afraid to cause conflict, but it's in you naturally to go against the grain. Okay. So, use these emotions to kind of go, like when you're journaling and in therapy, going, actually, that isn't right. Actually, uh, if I want to please myself, and if I want to please the values and be in line with the values that I consider to be good, and to actually help eliminate conflict, because your drivers, you want to eliminate conflict. Well, you will always eliminate conflict if you are in the truth of yourself. You'll always have that power on some really, really strong level to go, you know what? I know what's right by me, or I'm going to be an advocate for others. And this is not the right way. You know, me just agreeing to things will cause more conflict down the road. Okay. So you are coming into being a spiritual warrior. And I'm going to say it again, a spiritual badass. I feel like your personality can appreciate that. Keep going forward. Keep tonifying and trusting. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see. I feel like something is right. I really need to, yes. Yes. If I don't feel like something is right, I really need to speak up. Yes. And you were doing that. You were doing that in a way where you've acknowledged that you are changing, and that you have an intrinsic feeling to be otherwise. Okay? So, you got this. You got this, and lean into those feelings. It's going to make you masterful of working through this. Um, where was I? I think there was a name that I chose. Rochelle. Rochelle, you had a relationship question, I believe. Rochelle, where are you? You said life path number 4. Can't find you, Rochelle, all of a sudden. Saw you. Okay, now I see it. It's your question. All right. Well, Rochelle, if you're still here, you can pop down. Oh, hello. That helps me to know what's going on. Absolutely, Zoe. Thank you. Absolutely. Give you big smiles right back. Okay, Rochelle, you're looking into relationships. Okay. Hi. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense why I pulled the mediumship card with you being an IC Norse. Okay, so all right. Rochelle, can you understand, like, recently, forgive me if I'm not quite sure on the timeline, but within the last 2 years that you've been in school to, like, be a nurse or to increase certifications with being a nurse, can you understand that? I'm gonna put that out there as you're typing, because I'm aware of, like, there's a card that I'm picking out for the past, and it's about, like, furthering research, furthering career, opening door and figuring out more so what you really want. And sometimes we are tweaking career because of that, and figuring out where we want to go. And things are what they seem, and we go forward. Okay. So if you can understand that, Rochelle, or if you can't understand that, let me know, because that helps me to understand if I'm in your energy. Um, I feel like, so I got the mediumship card connected to you because it lets me know that your sensitivities. You said no, just work, but looking into spirituality with more courses. So that, okay, so that happened in the 1 to 2 years ago. Okay, and that. Okay. Well, that does make sense. Okay, because I'm pulling a lot of mediumship cards for you, and things like that, and spiritual development cards. Okay. This does go hand in hand with your work somehow. That's why I'm mixing these two together. So I have the spiritual force card for you. I have the mediumship card, and I have the unraveling the mystery. And then unraveling the mystery card comes into place with education and looking into things further and opening doors on skills and abilities. With what you know about yourself 1 to 2 years ago. Okay. So I'm validating that part at least. Um, and it's letting me know that you really kind of weren't sure. You're like, should I, shouldn't I, and you're really quite not sure how to develop. And you're really sometimes weren't quite sure to what to think of things and your abilities. So there is that time where really figuring things out. But the card that I got for you is you're still in that sphere of learning and figure things out, but you've embraced this part of yourself that you are a medium, that you are energy sensitive, that you do have these abilities that will help you within being a nurse, help you within being a better family member, help you with being a better friend. Okay. Oh, and just heads up, since this is the first broadcast on my page and everything, sometimes we have people coming in that want to ask others for readings. Please ignore that, or please report it. Um, just got this person out of here. Yeah, if anyone ever asks you for readings, because this is a free show, okay? And this is a service from my heart to you. If anyone comes in, just nope, report them or encourage people that they are scamming. So obviously you see that for everyone who's in here. Okay. So they've been blocked. And I'll just remove them as I go. Okay. So with Rochelle, what I was saying is you're in this awakening and opening period soon. Oh, I just clicked something. There we go. This opening and awakening period where you are aware of how it is affecting your life in a positive way. But it's time to open on the next level. Um, and it's just a matter of making sure that you have encouragement and people in your corner, because I'm aware that it's like you're trying to meditate and you're trying to grow your skills, but it's like it's been hard to focus. It's been hard to meditate. And that you have things coming up in your life where there's going to be a lot more change, where it's going to complicate stress. And it's just like, I'm working on these things. I'm working on being sensitive, but I feel like I don't have always the proper time. And it's just, I'm taking it with me as I go. Okay. So the number one thing, Rochelle, within career is just making the intention at work of, like, I'm ready for my abilities to work with me to the greatest extent where I can help others and help myself. And so bring that intention with you to work, and like, use it in your everyday life rather than just making time to meditate and making time for the classes only, because it will always feel like it isn't enough and you would like to have it in a different way, and really just fit it in being a nurse in the ICU. I promise spirit will show you 1,000 ways to help others. Um, there's a lot of nurses that are mediums, where they learn about their abilities because they're around so many people going through struggle and hardship, and even passing. And that's how they knew. That's how they knew. Okay. Um, I'll eventually delete all these spam comments coming in. All right. Okay. Just hang in there. Bring your mediumship in every day for practical help rather than meditating. That is what I'm getting. It's short, it's sweet, but it's true. And then with relationship, um, the card I got going forward is talking about there's going to be more problematic things coming up with relationship. It's basically like you have to really center yourself and lead some of the energy of knowing that what is working right now or hanging on by a thread right now is not going to continue to work going forward. And you have to give things breathing room. You have to give things breathing room. And when some things break apart, it gives sometimes breathing room in order to make better things happen. And that could be within the current relationship or honestly finding something that is more just healthy in general. So there is a transition coming, and really let it and lean into just your spiritual support and trusting in faith and surrendering to that process and also asking for help during that process. So that is what I'm getting, Rochelle. And I'm glad you can understand. Okay. Mm-mm. Okay. All right. I'm going to pull one more card. So for Christopher, I'm going to pull a card for you. I'm learning how to block people. Forgive me if, the comments have been spammed. All right. So, Christopher, the card that I got the Heartbreak Hotel card actually. Okay. I'm gonna give you some clarification on that. Heartbreak Hotel it's all about like coming into your confidence as a man. Okay. So in relationships, sometimes there's parts of ourselves that come out, depending on the person and depending on the unique situation of the relationship, where it makes us feel like more of a man or more of a woman, or redefines the way that we see ourselves. And there has been some prior, cataclysmic events that have really shooken up that department of how you see yourself and how you want to continue going forward with certain things. Um, and so what's coming in is all about having devotion to making sure that you feel stronger and better than ever. And so that's strengthening your energy. And energy is physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. And anytime we put in stock in strengthening ourselves, and this is about like redefining who we are, not strengthening the skills we already have, because that's who we are, but strengthening the areas that have been a little bit wonky. Um, Opening ourselves to possibilities of, yeah, that would be nice, but I don't know really if I want to do that. Dare to dream a little bit, dare to be a little bit risky with getting into this next phase of who you are, and dare to shake things up where you're like, I didn't expect I could do this, but I did it. You have every ounce of potential inside of you to be whatever you want to be and do whatever you want to be. And you already have this inside of you. It's just about how you activate it here on earth. Your spirit is limitless. It's just about how we activate these skills and these parts of ourselves on earth. And with just a little time, patience, and repetition, we can bring any energy down to earth. Okay. So you get to kind of decide what next phase you want to be as. Um, it, you get to, what I'm trying to say, you get to decide what phase next you want to be as like a man, and how you want to just honor feeling great about yourself and having this new level of confidence. And I feel like it's time to activate the next part of you. And I feel like you're just going to attract a bunch of actually really interesting people with that in mind. And that's what makes life really exciting when we have new energies coming in, especially new people. So I'm going to give that to you. And thank you for understanding that, Christopher. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. With that said, thank you so much for joining me. I've had a long week figuring out how to get this station back up and running, so we have a podcast again. So my brain's a little bit tired. So thank you for being so sweet with me and patient with me. But thank you in just the most honest way of being here with me, and whether it's for a reading or listening in, or just your support. Thank you for being here with the Psychic Hour. And I will see you next week. We will be broadcasting every week, like regular Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time, on the regular. With that said, please go with love, luck, light, and don't forget to live, everybody. See you next week. Take care. Bye.